A very good afternoon, everybody. Let me see the sound. Okay. So today is the this is the afternoon session. There, I think it is not changed. This morning, change the background banner in this one. So this is the afternoon session, and semester 4 students are making presentations on research methodology. Today, they are going to make it on various topics related to research methodology. Let us see the list of the students and their topics. I'm sharing a screen here. Okay, so the first presentation will be by Insiyafatema, and it will be on the world of research, exploring different research methods, followed by Mansi's presentation on evolution of MLA style citation, MLA citation style, a comparative analysis of MLA 7th, 8th, and 9th editions. Nirali's presentation will be on qualitative and quantitative research. Pooja's presentation on what is bibliography, how to compile a working bibliography. It is? It is? Achha. Achha. Then that is whose one? Bibliography is Achha, Payal. Okay, let's see. Why it is coming in your name then? I'm pasting it here. Insia, then Mansi, then Nirali on qualitative and quantitative research. Then Payal on what is bibliography, how to compile a working bibliography. Then Pooja's on interdisciplinary insights, data collection methods. Followed by Rajeshvari's on the research process, the conversation with sources. Riddhi's on difference between academic writing and non-academic writing. Rinkal's on research methodology, why it matters. Trushali on fostering ethical research practices. And Upasana's, the last one on revising, editing, and proofreading. Okay, let us start with the first presentation of the day.
Hello everyone. On the third day of presentation of semester 4 in the paper Research Methodology, I am going to deal with the topic The World of Research, Exploring Different Research Methods. These are my academic details, and these are some research questions which I discussed in my presentation. So first begin with what is the research. Research is the methodical collection and analysis of data and information with the goal of progressing understanding in any given field. It encompasses endeavors to address both intellectual and practical inquiries through the implementation of systematic approaches. Research is an academic activity, and as such the term should be used in a technical sense. So first research starts with the question, and then it's going on through observation, comparison, and experiments. In essence, research is the systematic pursuit of knowledge through objective and systematic methods aimed at finding solutions to the problems. This systematic approach includes the formulation of hypotheses and the process of generalization leading to the development of theories. The term research encompasses a structured methodology involving problem and association, hypothesis formulation, and data collection. It is characterized as a meticulous and systematic inquiry process crafted to explore and unravel specific subjects or issues with precision. So in this first research asks some question, and then he or she started finding solution of that question through observation, comparison, or any experiment. These are some definition of research. According to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, research is the studious inquiry or examination, special investigation or experimentation aimed at discovery and interpretation of facts, revising of accepted theories or laws in the light of new facts, or practical applications of such new or revised theories or laws. According to Cambridge Dictionary, research is a detailed study of a subject, especially in order to discover new information or reach a new understanding. And according to Clifford Moody, research involves several key components: defining and redefining problems, formulating hypotheses or proposed solutions, collecting, organizing, and evaluating data, making deduction, and reaching conclusion. And finally, rigorously testing this conclusion to assess their compatibility with the formulated hypothesis. And at the last, according to Redman and Mori, research is a systematized effort to gain a new knowledge. So, what is methodology? It is a science of doing research. In this, researchers examine the set of methods and principles associated with the branch of knowledge. Research methodology, on the other hand, is the science of studying how research is conducted scientifically. It provides a systematic approach to solving research problems by logically adopting various steps. Methodology not only aids in understanding the outcomes of scientific inquiry but also the process itself. Research methodology aims to describe and analyze methods through light on their limitations and resources, clarify their limitation and resources, and clarify their perception and consequences, relating their potentials to the village zone at the frontiers of knowledge. What are research approaches? There are various types of research approaches, and main are three types: quantitative research, qualitative research, and mixed methods. These are commonly employed in research studies, and through these methods, researchers are finding a solution of their problems and their questions. different research methodologies. Here I described three research methods. Basic research is also known as pure research, focuses on enhancing knowledge for its own sake. It seeks to uncover unknown facts and is concerned with generalization and the development of new theories. And then applied research, it's also called as a practical research or need-based research. The main intention is to find solution to the current problems and encountered by institutions, societies, business, or government office. It involves identifying social, political, and economic changes that have adverse effects in different sectors. This type of research is primarily conducting using secondary data sources. And the third one is empirical research. It is often referred to as experimental research. In this, the primary data is collected, analyzed, interpretation is done, and subject to hypothesis testing. Researcher should develop his experiment design and should provide working hypothesis before the commencement of his research for good outcome. Qualitative research methodology in detail. So, qualitative method is different from quantitative methods. It's qualitative research encompasses naturalistic and interpretive methods aimed at addressing scientific and practical issues within societies. So, this method is using for in-depth exploration or textual analysis, and qualitative research encompasses various strategies of inquiry, each addressing different research demands. And these are narrative approach, phenomenological approach, grounded theory, ethnography, case studies, content analysis. So through these approaches, researcher can do research for and find answer for of their questions, and this research give detailed analysis and textual analysis of their their answers. Quantitative research methodology. It's based on numerical research, and it's give logical answer through using numbers. It aims to explain and predict things on a broader scale, like understanding people, event, or place. It all starts with defining the problem and making specific guesses about what might happen. The primary object is to generate explanations and predictions that can be applied to a broader context, encompassing people, events, and places. This process begins with defining the problem and formulating specific hypotheses aligned with study's objectives. This research method collects numerical data and then analyzed using mathematical techniques, particularly statistical methods, while both qualitative and quantitative research methods aim to describe a topic, but the distinguishing factor lies in the analytical method employed with quantitative research, focusing on mathematical analysis using statistics. Overall, quantitative research aims to define phenomenon by gathering numerical data. It's like a data collection from various fields, including education, psychology, physics, and biology. And this research methodology has different types of inquiries, like survey research, descriptive research, experimental research, correlational research, casual comparative research. And then introduction to interdisciplinary research method. So first, what is interdisciplinary? According to Cambridge Dictionary, the term refers to involving two or more different subjects or areas of knowledge. Half centuries ago, philosopher of science Karl Popper says that we are not student of some subject matter, but student of problems, and problems may cut right across the boundaries of any subject matter or discipline. This statement has become increasingly relevant. In today's time, we can find that problems are derived from any field. So for that, researcher is allowed to blend in the theories from different fields to find the answer of their questions. So for modern technological developments and globalization add to the complexity of problems, and in response, we are becoming increasingly aware that an integrated approach is necessary. Healthcare, climate change, food security, energy, financial markets, and quality of life are but a few examples of subjects that drive scientists to cross borders and engage with experts from multiple fields to find solutions. In today's research landscape, collaboration across discipline is vital. For example, scientists, engineers, and sociologists working together on climate change. So there are a problem of climate change in contemporary times. So research from different fields do research work in a collaborative manner. So we can find a solution in a very detailed solution of this problem. Each contributes unique insight, leading to innovative solution. Interdisciplinary goes beyond considering multiple viewpoints. It involves actively blending ideas and methods from various fields to gain a holistic understanding. This collaborative approach is increasingly recognized as essential for addressing global challenges effectively. Significance of research. Research holds significant importance in various aspects of a society. Research holds importance in our society. So, if we see the policy formulation in these government's guiding decision on budget, allocation, and implementation, by relying on research findings, policymakers ensuring informed and effective governments. Secondly, research is a fundamentally geared towards knowledge acquisition, constantly pushing the boundaries of understanding and challenging existing notions. And in the field of business, research is indispensable, aiding companies in navigating market dynamics, optimizing financial strategies, and fostering growth. Research plays a pivotal role in dispelling myths and superstitions, providing empirical evidence of superstition, and it promotes to rational thinking in a society. And finally, in academic, research serves as the cornerstone for scholarly pursuits, providing the foundation for a doctoral thesis and advising academic knowledge. In essence, research stands as the beacon of knowledge, guiding government policies, driving economic prosperity, dispelling ignorance, and nurturing social advancement. So these are some importance of research in different fields. In interdisciplinary field, research helps to gain a deeper understanding of any problem, and researcher may find in-depth analysis through the using methods like quantitative research, qualitative research, or interdisciplinary research. These are my references. Thank you, and now I am open for questions.
Insia, my question is that while considering various research methods that are are there any potential biases or any limitations that are associated with different research methods?
Yes, research methods have many limitations and biases. If any person is doing a data collection, or we can say research in psychology, so their prejudice may being biased in their research, or limitations like if the person is not giving the proper answer, so researcher may gain false information. So these are some biases and limitations. And these biases and limitations we can find in various methods. If it is qualitative method, depends on only research. In that we find biases of researchers themselves. And in a quantitative method, while any quantitative method, a researcher is doing a data collection. In that we find limitations because of audience or audience have to give the answers. So in that we can find biases and limitations in a research method.
Insiya, how do basic and applied research differ in their methods?
So difference between basic and applied research methods. Basic research method only studied the textual analysis or its using to find the problem and explore the topic. While we can say applied research is based on experimental research, and through the experiment and data collection, through applied research method, researcher may find more elaborative finding of their answers. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mansi Gujadiya. In our third day of presentation, I will discuss about evolution of MLA citation style, comparative analysis of MLA 7, MLA 8, and MLA 9. Here is my personal information. Now, first we are discuss about what is a citation. Citations are a way of giving a credit when certain material in your work comes from another source. It also gives you readers the information necessary to find that source again. It provides an important roadmap to your research process. Whenever you use resource as such as books, journals, or website in your research, you must give credit to the original author by citing the source. Now we are discuss about the history of citation study. The Cole brothers were earlier pioneers of citation studies. They often referred to citations as a measure of quality, although they were slightly more cautious in defining citations as the representing the relative scientific significance or quality or papers. Even today, citation indicators are sometimes present as a measure of the scientific quality. Despite ongoing debates and critics about the suitability of using citation in this way, a common assumption in using citations is a research performance indicates that it should be justified or grounded in the referencing behavior of both. However, as pointed out by Smith in 1931, not enough was knowing about the actual citation behavior.
of authors and the reasons behind their citation choice. Many studies have been conducted to understand differentiating behavior with two contrasting perspectives of emerging. One emphasizing the intellectual function of reference, focusing on the context and knowledge aspects. The other analysis citing is a fundamentally social process focusing on outside and the social factors rather than content. The latter perspective, which critiques the use of citations as performance measures, had been associated with attempts to highlight the social and non-intellectual factors influencing citation practice. The debate revolve around whether citations truly reflect research quality and significance, or if they are influenced by various social and non-intellectual factors that may undermine their use of reliable performance indicators. Here I mention main three type of citation. First, American Psychological Association, APA style. This style guide is generally used by individuals associated with behavior or social science. It is complex set of rules and regulations along with guidelines in various informative elements. It is a complex set of citation style guide that has detailed information about every step in the writing process. Second type of citation is the Chicago Manual of Citation. This style guide is perhaps one of the most famous citation style in the academic field. Nickname is Editor's Bible or Turabian style. The Chicago Manual of Style is the most used in a publication industry. The Chicago Style Manual was originally credited by the University of Chicago and published in 1906. It was essentially written as a reference for authors, editors, copywriters, publishers, and other areas where the written word is primarily used. It is also used by other disciplines. And the other one is the Modern Language Association, MLS style. This style is considered one of the most popular and most used citation and referencing style in the academic field. MLS style is a style used for citing the sources within the language, art, cultural study, and other humanities disciplines in the academic field. The latest version of the MLA manual 19th edition offers several examples for the general format of MLA papers in text citation and a one-cited page. This quick guide provides the basic rules of MLA in text citation for academic papers and essays. Now we are seeing what is a MLA citation. The Modern Language Association Handbook is in its 9th edition and standardized where scholars document their sources and format their papers. When everyone documents their sources and the papers in the same way, it is simple to recognize and understand the way of sources used for a project. Readers of your works will look at your citations not only to understand them but possibly to explore them as well. When you are borrowing information from a source and places it in your research or assignment, it's important to give a credit to the original author. This is done by credited and MLA citation. Depending on the type of information you are including in your work, you may place citation in a body of your project and in a works cited list at the end of your project. This is also a section belong to the recommended where to credit an MLA header. Those header appear at the top of your assignment page. Check with your instructor or whether they prefer a certain MLA format for a header. What is a MLA style? MLS style is widely used in a humanity, especially in written writing or language and literature. MLA style is used most heavily in disciplinary. It get engaged deeply with specific texts, including English language, English literature, language, and philosophy. Modern language associated or MLA format is a style of crediting sources you used in write a paper. This style is typically used for research paper, for English composition, or other communication class. Every time you quote a paragraph for someone else's work, you must tell us who wrote the work, what is it called, and where you will find a copy. You give us this information in two places. In a paragraph where you are quoting a paraphrasing, this is called a paratical citation or in-text citation. Because you will put this brief information about the work in a parent list. In the work cited page, at the end of the paper, this is where you put all of the information we need to find a copy of the work you used in your paragraph. In this PPT, I also in-text citation in the last line of the PPT. What is a citation worth? Citation are reference or attributions made to acknowledge the sources of information, idea, code, or data that are used within a written book. In the academic and research context, proper citation is provided for several reasons like giving credit, avoiding plagiarism, supporting claims, facilitating further research, and establishing context. This all information are used in MLA citation. Not only MLA citation, but also in other citations, other types of citation like author, title of resource, title of content, other contributions, version number, publisher, publication date, and location. Now we are discuss about MLA 8 citation. The MLA published a new version of MLA handbook in April 2016. Be sure to check with your professor to determine if your class will be using the new edition or the previous 7th edition. The latest edition of the MLA handbook by the Modern Language Association was published in 2016 and including some drastic changes of to MLA format. Different source type no longer have a different format. MLA updated their style to accommodate the digital publication era, where a work can be published and shared in many different formats with MLA now utilize a list of 4 elements arranging in particular order. The type of source you use will dictate which 4 elements you use. For more information, here is some of the changes in the latest version of MLS. In a 7th edition, no requirement to state where your resource was print or not. Or from the website. Anytime you can use an online source. However, make sure you include the web address at the end of your citation. No requirement to list the data you access or online source. But if an item is updated, the needing to include use of digital obtained identifier instead of URL if available. In 9th edition, builds in the modern MLA citations the longer standing authority on sources documentation guideline and continue MLA's dedication to promoting information in digital legacy, which approval in today's world. With updating the guideline of MLA 9, you will learn how to accurate and informative site everything from novel to song lyrics to presentation. in ninth edition is expanding guidance on creating MLA worksite list and how to start MLA. More detailed explanation of index citation, recommendation for including language, and many other they are changes from updated citation. Now I will try to differentiation from in MLA 7, MLA 8 and MLA 9 citation. MLA 7 is published in 2007. It is different citation form for every source. Like if you are cite a journal, newspaper, website, every citation format is different. And in this citation, they are not including containers like where it is published and which kind of journal article are published. All this. Author's name should be specific. No indicators of abbreviation, volume, and the number to magazine in journal article. In sometimes if we can try to cite some article, so in a journal or article we can find out some volume number and other numbers. In a seventh edition, it is not available to type this kind of number. In this edition, city of publication is included. Here is I mention example. In MLA 8 edition is published in 2016. It is a one standard citation format for every different source. If you are cite a newspaper in the journal article or website, in everywhere the format it same in MLA 8 citation. It is now suitable to use online handles or screen name in place of author's name, including observations and a number of two magazine and article citation. It is include URLs and in this format it is important to write city of publication. In a ninth edition, it is published in 2021. In this format, it is also same as MLA 8 edition. And here as I mentioned example of this edition. And this is my reference. In this all reference, I will cite MLA 8 edition. Thank you. Now I will open for a question.
Mansi, what is the purpose of using in-text citation in MLS and how do they differ the bibliographic citation?
Okay. In our, if we can write anything in our academic writing, it is very important to use the in-text citation. If we write a journal or anything in a 10th page, so in a paragraph, it is important to where it is taken from. So, and also we can find that this paragraph is taken from this side or this author. So it is important to use in-text citation. And in-text citation and bibliographical citation is the different, because in a bibliographic citation we can use every information. In a in-text citation we can use only a author's name or a surname.
Mansi, in which academic discipline or fields are MLA style citation and Chicago style citation is commonly used?
Okay. As I mentioned in my previous slide, that MLA citation is used in English language and literature student. As we are as the literature student, we are use MLA citation style, and the Chicago style citation is a use mostly used in a publication and other things. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dabhi Nirali, and today is the presentation on research methodology. For that, I am going to present on the topic qualitative versus quantitative research. These are my academic information, and this is the table of content. First, we discuss research and the types of research. Research is conducted to serve a diverse range of purposes, as such as enhancing the knowledge of the researcher and developing theories and revising facts. Research is the most widely used tool in increase the brush up and the scope of knowledge about something and someone. According to John Creswell, he defined research as in the definition that research is a process of steps used to collect and analyze information to increase our understanding of a topic of issues. In the easy language, we can say that the research is involves gathering and analyzing information for formulating and questioning, and also in the drawing of conclusion based on the evidence. Research can be categorized into various types of enhance our comprehension and its intricacies, and several classification bases can be employed, and including the nature of data and branch of knowledge, and extent of coverage and place of investigation and method employed, and time more. Research design are type of inquiry within qualitative and quantitative, and the mixed method, and it is approach the provides specific direction for procedures and in a research design. Others have called them strategies of inquiry. The research can take various forms, including scientific experiments and surveys, interviews, and observation, and literature review. Research can be classified according to its approach into two main types, and the other historical research, case study research, and experimental research. I'm taking the qualitative and quantitative research in my topic. What is the qualitative research? Qualitative research is natural, naturalistic, and interpretative approaches and concerned with understanding the meaning which people attach to phenomena and actions and decisions and beliefs and values, etc. Within that social words, qualitative research serves as a powerful tool for delving into the intricacies of human behaviors and experiences and attitudes and intentions and motivations. Qualitative research helps us to understand the world in which we live and why things are the way they are. The goals of qualitative research is the development of concepts which help us to understand social phenomena in a natural setting and giving you emphasizes to the meanings and experiences and views of all the participants which are going to research. Qualitative research represents a paradigmatic shift in how we approach the study of social phenomena and challenging conventional and notions of objectivity and generalizability and causality by embracing complexity and contextuality and reflectivity and qualitative and causality by embracing complexity and contextuality and reflectivity and qualitative. Qualitative research is characterized by its focus on exploring the meaning that individuals attach to their experiences of the world. In the easy language, we can say that the qualitative research is explores meaning, interpretations, and experiences, and throughout the non-numerical data, and such like words, image, and observations. Qualitative research is a scientific method of observation together non-numerical data. And this type of research refers to the meaning, concept, definition, characterization, and metaphors, symbols, and description of things, and not the counts of measures. Uh, and this is the definition given by Mansi and Rinkal. Qualitative research. The qualitative research research method is characterized by its focus on numbers and measurable phenomena and employing a systematic approach to investigate relationship between variables. The research is also known as empirical research, and it can be accurately and preciously measured. And the quantitative methodology is often portrayed as an approach to social research that apply principles akin to those found in a natural science, and particularly it positivist perspective to study social phenomena. And the research methodologist seems rarely to write about the nature of their research activities in contrast to plausible and alternative. The quantitative research, it is the words collecting and analyzing the numerical data to understand and describe the phenomena. The qualitative research is informed by objectivity, epistemology, and thus it seeks to develop explanatory universal laws in social behavior by statistical measuring that what is assumed to be a static reality. This is the definition of quantitative research. Quantitative research facilitates the construction of graphs, tables, and charts to visualize raw data, aiding research in the interpretation and analysis of results. This research method relies on quantifiable measures and statistical technique to study relationship patterns and trends within a population or samples. Quantitative research provides a rigorous and systematic approach to understanding and explaining phenomena by using numerical data, and it is widely used across various disciplines, including social science, natural science, and healthcare. This is the table which is I summarize from ChatGPT. This is the describe the difference between qualitative research and quantitative research. Comparative analysis between qualitative and quantitative research. Qualitative and quantitative, both research methodologies represent distinct paradigms and social science inquiry, and both each other offering unique perspective and approach to understanding phenomena. Qualitative and quantitative research examine their epistemology and theoretical and methodological underpinnings, and both the quantitative and qualitative research methodologies exhibit strength and weakness, which to some extent complement each other. Quantitative research establishing cause and effect in relationship, testing hypothesis, testing hypothesis, and governing the opinions and attitudes and behaviors of a large population. And the qualitative research is adept and generating hypotheses and theories and describing in intricate process like decision making or communication. Qualitative research commonly associated with the positivity approach, and it is emphasizing operational and definitional objectivity and replicability and causality, and it is also seeks to establishing cause and effect in a relationship throughout statistical analysis. In the contrast, qualitative research take a more interpretive stance, aiming to understand the social world from the perspective of the actors involved. These are some advantages and disadvantages of qualitative research. In the left side, advantages. The qualitative research approach offers several advantages that make it a valuable method for understanding and complex phenomena in real life context. And qualitative research allows researchers to gather rich and detailed data from participants and in their natural environment. Qualitative research allows theory to emerge from the data itself rather than relying solely on pre-existing theories. It is also considered human thought and action with a social content and encompassing a broad range of phenomena such as the interaction, thought process, and the cultural norms. This data also facilitated a collaboration and co-creation of knowledge. The disadvantages of qualitative research. Qualitative research also faces the several limitations and criticisms. In one significant challenge is the limited generalizability of finding, as qualitative research often focus on specific individuals or the groups. It is also may encounter challenges with replicability due to its reliance on subjectivity and interpretation and non-standard and non-standard data collection methods. It is also often produced complex and nuanced finding that may be challenging to simplify or summarize. It is the data offers value insights into complex in rich and detailed data collect method and fostering collaboration between researcher and the participants. And these are the disadvantages to use this qualitative research. These are the advantages and disadvantages of quantitative research. The advantages of quantitative research. One of the primary benefits is to lie in its efficiency and cost effectiveness. Quantitative research enable to generalization throughout the application of scientific methods, and this research facilitates replicability, and its structured methodology enable consistent result across different contexts. The quantitative research provides opportunities for experimental design and control, to allowing research to manipulate and variable and test hypothesis, and this research also promotes researcher and detachment and minimizing bias and subjectivity in data collection and analysis. The disadvantages of quantitative research. Despite its advantages, quantitative research also faces criticism and limitations by people. Quantitative research may prioritize quantity over quality. It is also focused on measurable outcome at the expense of nuance and insight. The quantitative research lays flexibility in data collection and analysis, and adhering to predetermined hypothesis and research protocol. This data also may overlook the subjective experiences and perspectives of participants, and reducing the richness and depth of understanding. The quantitative research may confirmation of existing theories over the discovery of novel insights. In conclusion, qualitative and quantitative research methods both have offer distinct approaches to understanding and investigation phenomena in various fields such as the marketing, business, sociology, psychology, science, technology, and economics, and also in the literature. While qualitative quantitative research focus on verbal narrative and in-depth understanding throughout the methods like interviews and focus on groups. Quantitative research relies on logical or statistical observation to draw the conclusion, and often utilizing structure and interviews and observations. Data, both the research have their own differences. It can be complementary when we use these together. Researcher may employ technique from both traditional simultaneously and allowing for a more comprehensive understanding of the research topic. And for the example, the researcher may begin with a qualitative approach to develop insight, and then translation into the qualitative analysis to validate findings or explore the specific trendings further. And these are the references.
Nirali, what are the key difference between qualitative and quantitative research, and how they help each other to find a more good research?
The quantitative research is uses the numbers and statistic for the analysis, but the qualitative research is explores the meaning, words, photos, and the speeches of our own, and for and not use the numerical research in the words.
Nirali, can a qualitative and quantitative research method be combined in a single study? If yes, so how it is possible?
When we research on a particular topic, that time we find that the qualitative and the quantitative both research are different from each other, because they qualitative focus on the quality, and the quantitative is focused on the also quantity, and it is also on the based on the numbers, and both are the when we studies it in together, and then we studied the combined study, and then we analyzing both in a different way, and then we put in a combined way. Then we realize that this is the this research method is we can study it in a combined.
Hello everyone. In the third day of the presentation, I chose the topic what is bibliography and how to compile working bibliography. These are the academic details. These are the points. What is a bibliography? The word bibliography has originated from the Greek terms biblion meaning a book and graphian meaning to write. Bibliography is the art of science of correctly describing books, a list of the book and articles that have been used by someone when writing a particular book or article. A list of the books from a particular writer or publisher or written about a particular subject. Bibliography is the art of recording books and the science of making books and their excellent record. Function and use of the bibliography. It is systematic guide to the literature of the subject. It locates titles on a given subject and identifies the bibliographical details. It serves as a selection tool in acquiring materials for the library. It helps in obtaining information on a complete works and about individual author. Helps the user in locating documents of their interest. Branches of the bibliography. First one is analytical. Analytical is connected with the analysis of the particular topic, detailed description of a document or any topic, whichever we choose, facts and data. Systematic is all about a record or copy your resource in a particular order. Descriptive means use techniques for recording the results of analytical format. And historical means a history of writing, printing materials and binding. Textual, a study of comparison of text and their transmission through different printings and editions. How to compile working bibliography, keeping track of sources. Keep track of sources which you use for a paper. Second one is creating a computer file for the working bibliography. Create a file for this purpose and enter full information about sources. A third one is recording essential publication information. Add all the publication needed for the work cited list. Noting other useful information. Record where you found the references. And verifying publication information. When you consult a sources, verifying publication facts against your records. Even if you have printed out or downloaded the data. Converting the working bibliography to the works cited list. Transfer working bibliography into a works cited list. These are the references. Thank you.
Payal, what are the key elements to consider when formatting a bibliography for an academic paper?
What are the key elements to consider when formatting a bibliography for an academic paper? Key elements. Consider when formatting a bibliography for an academic paper. I don't know right now. I will give answer in the text or chat box.
Payal, why do we need to include a list of sources at the end of a research paper?
Why do we need to include a list of sources at the end of the research paper? For for the creditability and whatever we put in the whatever we choose sources, these are the reliable or not, and make our topic or any paper credible and essential or true to the original sources.
Am I audible? So hello everyone. So from the paper name research methodology, I chose the topic interdisciplinary insights, data collection method. This is Pooja, and I'm going to talk about what are some of the data collection methods, various data methods from which we can get the data for our research and other things. Here are my personal information. Some of the ideas or questions I'm going to discuss in this presentation, which is normalized. What are the different methods employed for gathering data, as usual? Then why it is crucial to amass data? Is the data collection regarded as authentic? Which I'm going to discuss, and in which interdisciplinary fields is data utilized? To talk about all these ideas, it takes hours and hours, but I try to conclude in shortly. So first of all, it is important to see what is data collection before going to see its methods. So data collection is the method normally of gathering and measuring information, as we all know, about specific things or ideas which is already set up. This helps to find answer or important question and assess the result. Every field of study, like science, humanities, and business, use data collection to learn and make decisions. Now, in the process of data collection, start after you have clearly, these are some ideas that clearly define your research problem and develop a plan or design for your study. When deciding on method or collecting data, research need to consider two types of data. Here, normally three types of data, but here, mainly two types of data: primary, secondary, and third is tertiary data. According to Kothari, primary data is information that you collect directly, and the secondary data is something is information that already been gathered, and we got information from that. We're going to see what that is in detail. Now, choice of data collection method will depend on whether you need primary or secondary data for your research or any idea you are applying. If you require primary data, you will need to use methods like survey, interviews, experiments, or observation kind of thing. And but in secondary data, we need a data collection process which involves compiling and analyzing information that already exists. It is more like reading or analyzing something kind of thing in secondary data, but in primary data we have to collect things. It is like sometimes it is new idea also. It's important to note that the methods of collecting primary and secondary data differ significantly. Primary data collection requires designing and implementing data gathering techniques from scratch, while secondary data collection involves locating, accessing, and organizing existing data sources. But in tertiary data, we'll see that how it works and what is important of that as well. So let us first see some of the main ideas that how primary data collections are. It is an observation method through observation, interview methods, questionnaire-based data collection, schedule-based data collection, and other ideas. like warranty cards, distributors or store edits and others. Let's see in a little detail, not in a wide range, but in little detail, that what is observation method? Observation method involves directly observing subject or phenomenon phenomena for research purpose, either as participant or non-participant. It allows gathering first-hand data without relying on respondents' response. So it is like observing and getting the data. In interview method, as typically we know that it is gathering from communication, or we got it by asking some of the question, and they giving us an answer. Now, questionnaire-based data collection, it is like a survey kind of thing. It is, as discussed in previous slides also, it is like a qualitative data, quantitative data. So I'm not going to go in that. And schedule-based data collection, it is a scheduled method, involves trained enumerates visiting respondents. In the other data collection, we can do it, but we can do it easily compared to schedule-based data. In schedule-based data, we have to train about it, that how we are going to gather the data. It requires more skill than other. Now, these are some other data methods like warranty cards and audit. Warranty cards include with products to gather user information. Store audit, where sales people observe and record inventory data. Mostly it is not related to scholarly thing, but yeah, it is a kind of data which helps also. Consumer panels, a sample of consumer record their purchase and consumption over time. Use of mechanical devices like eye camera, psycho, galvanometer, etc. to indirectly measure responses. Projected links, in-depth interviews and content analysis. Normal, not very I can say famous kind of methods, but it is also important to note that these all methods allow gathering data indirectly or exploring underlying factors, but may require socializes training. Like if a person is more introvert, it is a bit difficult for them to collect this kind of data. Yeah. Now, secondary method for collecting secondary data. Primary kind of data gives us sometimes new ideas. We have to do it from scratch. But in secondary data, the content is already available. We have to got it from that. So secondary data can be published or unpublished. Published data includes government publications, international organizations that information, like when we have to see about the about some awards, that who is getting and who is not getting or nominated, we can get from other website which is also available, that we can call a secondary data. Industry specific publication, yeah, and print media like books, magazine, newspaper, we can get from that as well. Business and industry association, this all is for how we can get data. Yeah. Academic and research sources and studies, reports and publication, which is already available. We use that in our research paper, or while we also wrote dissertation. Public archives like historical documents, public records, statistics, or other published information sources. So these are some published sources, and in unpublished sources, it includes personal records like diaries, letters, unpublished biographies, and autobiographies. Academic and research sources, unpublished data information held by scholars, researchers, academic institutions. Industry and professional organization, like unpublished data and information held by trade association, labor bureaus, and other private public organizations. These are some other unpublished. In both published and unpublished, secondary data sources to gather relevant information for the study, and depending on the accessibility, relevance, and reliability of data. From secondary sources, we can get what we need. We can avoid unnecessary information which is not required for our research. So the third one is tertiary data. Tertiary data is also important with these two type of data. So it is third-party data collection, refers to obtaining data or information from sources outside of your organization or original sources. So 1, 2, and third. So third stage is called tertiary data. Some common example of third-party data include data brokers, aggregators. for that. Government agencies and market research firms, data reseller and public database. This I get from Cloud AI and from this from a article written by Qualitative. So the main advantages of using third-party data are convenience, cost saving, and access to data you may not have resources or collect independently. Like I can give example for tertiary data, which I used in yesterday's presentation. I was not able to find a poem. There are some poems which we are not able to find, or other data which we can directly access or we find it. So for that we can use tertiary data for that. However, you rely on third-party data collection, so there are some problems or question about authenticity of that as well. So companies often use third-party data in combination with their own first-party data to enrich their database, identity, new patterns, and insights, etc. Now, with that, I have also some other types of it which can be important to know as well. So, first is case study data. The case study method involves an in-depth investigation of a single unit, such as a person, group, organization, or situation. There are some key points about case study method, said in the book of research methodology by C.R. Kothari, allows comprehensive examination of all factors and relationship within the unit. Takes the qualitative approach, gathering detailed information beyond just numbers. Aims to understand the unique complexities for exploratory research and generating hypotheses. Data comes from various sources like interviews, observation, documentation. In this case study data, time-consuming and expensive compared to surveys. Survey and data as a case study method are both different things. Requires skilled researcher to avoid biases in data collection and analysis. Also, sometimes it happens that when we are doing survey or any other, we are collecting other data, somewhere we become biased of that. So in case study data, the chances are low for that. While having some limitation, the case study method is widely used across disciplines like sociology, anthropology, psychology, and business to gain a profound understanding of particular social entities or phenomenon. When done rigorously, it can yield valuable context-specific knowledge. Now, here is a information about qualitative and quantitative data, which already discussed in the slide. So I'm going to say a little about it, not in detail. So there are two types: qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative data describe qualities, characteristics, and non-numerical traits, while quantitative data deals with measurable and numerical values. There are some use or method for it, which benefits is like improved efficiency and accuracy in data gathering and reducing errors and other things. Both qualitative and quantitative data collection techniques are often used in tandem to provide comprehensive analysis of subject under study. And for that, I gave an example which I did for my dissertation. So for my dissertation title, Beyond Borders, Understanding Anime and Manga Fandom, a Comprehensive Audience Analysis. This falls under the cultural study, audience analysis. So I did a questionnaire-based survey for that. I conducted a survey using questionnaire method. The questionnaire had structured format with predetermined question to ensure consistent responses. And for that, I have to survey only 20 people, so it can be a little biased, but it has a low number for it. It started with basic questions like age, location, etc. This questionnaire combined multiple choice, checkbox, open-ended question, or gather both quantitative and qualitative data somewhere. The questions were clear, concise, and unbiased. It is from my side, but I'm totally not in that also. It can be biased, and it is somewhere biased indirectly. So, while control questions and have further validity and consistency of response, the survey method aimed to effectively gain valuable perspective on this anime and manga fandom. It is basically from for the fandom and non-fandom. What fandom thought about this whole survey or research paper, or psychology of fandom, and the person who are not a fan of it and think what they think about who are fans of it. So it is like some kind. It is that kind of thing. Yeah, I give some AI. I get some AI data collection and tools or extension or websites for data collection. This is like a website and thing, not typically for use for research purpose, but somewhere we can get idea or inspiration from that. So these are some tools like and this AI data collection. What is AI data collection? The definition or main idea is given by AI itself, ChatGPT. So AI data collection tools are software that automatically gathers and organizes large amount of data using AI techniques like web scraping, social media monitoring, text analysis, image and video analysis, data annotation, and IoT data collection. They help extract insights from various sources for tasks like market research, sentiment analysis, and machine learning model training, etc. So here are some AI tools and extension website I gave. First is Clay. It is like AI. The instant data scraper. It is extension which can automatically get information from other sources. If we install it in a Chrome web store, yeah. There is also Ocean.io, Browse AI, BitScout, and Double and generate. And there is Tactic AI. So these are some AI which help us. Yeah. These are some citation. I both of the citation in my presentation. This citation is only for this AI website which I mentioned, and this is the citation for overall presentation. Yeah. Thank you. Stage is open for question.
So, Pooja, what are the advantages of incorporating diverse perspectives from multiple disciplines in data collection?
Can you elaborate?
You describe in your PPT that this type of data collections and
So you want to know in which other discipline this data collection helps, right? Nirali? So in this data collection is, as I mentioned, is not only for a particular discipline, but it is for various disciplines. We can use it in our research paper. We can use it in other methods. We can use it for other information. In the discipline, mostly it happens in humanities field in ELT as well. So in that discipline or in that field, this data collection method used mostly other than compared to others.
Pooja, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using secondary data in research compared to primary data?
Okay. In advantages, there are so many advantages, but in disadvantages, I don't think so. There are any disadvantages. May they have, but I'm not considering as disadvantages. Mostly advantages, because other than primary data, the secondary data is the data or is the sources which is useful to us and gave us more insight in a particular topic. So there are so many disadvantages and give a total in detailed information about what we want to say. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Rajeshvariba and on the third day of the season 4 presentation, we are going to deal with the topics of the paper research methodology on today's. The title of my presentation is the research process, conversation with sources. This is my academic information, table of content, and the questions that I have raised for this presentation. Why conduct research and what does it entail? What do you think research is important in academic settings? How might it contribute to the advancement of knowledge? Have you ever found yourself needing more information to make a decision or understand a situation fully? What did you do to gather that information? This is the question. And now I'm starting with the introduction of this presentation. Introduction is that research is an integral part of our daily lives and academic pursuits. It involves gathering information, exploring different perspectives, and finding answers to the questions that arise. Whatever you are trying to understand symptoms and treatment options for an illness. If we are finding any illness or any other kind of question in our day-to-day life, in the same way, if we have any question or any query in the academic, at that time there is the research for answering those questions. Research are conducting, and those questions and queries and misunderstanding or further more new theory and new things are developed from this research. Understanding the research writing process. Belonging to a community signifies being part of a knowledge community and inquiry community. And the manner in which ideas are communicated, whether spoken or written, holds equal importance to the substance of what is being discussed or composed. As the briefly says, I quote, ordinary people write to inform and convince other people within the writer's own community. I unquote. So this is the given reality that is said by Brooklyn, and our approach should encompass more than just analysis and explanation. We must also consider the other form of knowledge necessary to be a part of a community. We need to broaden our comprehensive of the writing process to incorporate not only activities that probe experiences and memories, but also inquiry, strategies, and technique to empower students to explore beyond their current limited experience and knowledge. And we have to push them to gain the new kind of knowledge in form of research. According to Gay, the typical writing scenarios involves a reader and writer who already possesses shared knowledge, and it is that gap between their respective knowledge and necessitates communication in both directions, and consequently compels the act of writing. However, our practice is to the direct student to seek something to intend, as the intention itself were a matter of a free choice. Students do not commence writing to fulfill an intention, rather they are presumed to being without intention, to search for something they wish to express. So research is not for the sake of research, but research is for the sake of develop something or for something to know something and gain the knowledge. Understand your research context. Understand your research context being by identifying the key elements that shape your research context. If we are not able to understanding the context, what we are dealing with our research work, at that time we are not able to do what we want to do in our research work. So first of all, the understanding of context is very important. Keeping your purpose, target audience, desired voice, and chosen medium in mind will guide you in making informed choices throughout research process, just as they would or any writing project. In different disciplinaries, there are different kind of targets are there, different kind of audiences are there. As we are the student of literature and the humanities, we have the different perspective to research. But if there is a in context of medicine, in other contexts, to say their target and desire and their voice of the research work is different. So first of all, to understand your subject. So here I have identified in four bullet points. Identify your primary goal or a reason for conducting the research. The reason for conducting the research is very important. Determine it is that exploratory, descriptive, explanatory, and evaluative. So these are the differences. Adapt your language, depth, and approach accordingly. So these are the points that the depth and language is also considered land structure and formatting requirements. So here the land structure, and we can say in the research paper, dissertation or thesis, the segments are every time the different for the land structure and format. Organizing your research toolkit. For research work, there is research toolkit is very important. Evaluate the tools and the resources that will aid you throughout your research process. So before starting your research work, prepare a proper toolkit for your research. It is very advisable to all. Assessing and assembling the necessary tools upfront can stimulate your research endeavors. Mapping out research work. So before doing the research work, so mapping out or trying to do a roadmap. This is help to further your research. Familiarizing yourself with assignments, requirements such as the expanded length, due date, specific information to be included, required number and type of sources, prescribed in documentation style and manuscript formatting guidelines. So we all have a giving a draft of our dissertation. So before doing this, we are trying to think what is the required length for dissertation, how many words we have to type in our dissertation, what is the particular format, in which format we have to submit it. So this can be we have to mapping out, and then if we are working on it, it is useful and helping for a proper kind of work. So leveraging ICT tools for effective research. In a modern era, information and communication technology called ICT tools have become inseparable for enhancing the quality and the efficiency of research work. So ICT tools are in modern era very helpful to done any kind of research work. These tools facilitate seamless communication, data management, and information dissemination, enabling researchers to overcome geographical barriers and collaborate with us. These ICT tools have overcome of this geographical tool. Nowadays, we are live on YouTube, so there is no geographical any barriers in those kind of things. And from the ICT tools, we can use the research paper from the any country, and the data is available for us that is not located in our physical library, but with the help of those ICT tools and digital library kind of thing, we are able to occupy those kind of any things that is available on digital platform. Online databases and digital libraries. So it is very helpful. We have the example of IIT Kharagpur and IIT Kanpur has the online the digital libraries, and now we have the NKBU has also launched its e-library, and from that we are able to access the different kind of research paper, and they also buy the chest or subscription. So we are also able to use those kinds of things with the help of this e-library. Research management software. collaborative tools. So there is a now in the emerging time of AI, there is a collaborative tools with there is a word, and in the word we are able to add some kind of extension. In our Chrome we are able to extension of merging AI for doing some collaborative work. In one hand we are typing, and in the second we are able to doing the summary in the Merlin in Chrome, or for Word there is a different kind of AI tools. So this is collaborative tools are helping in the research work, and data visualizing tools are also there available. This is the tools that this is not all the tools I have put it here, but this some of the tools that is important for searching, finding the paper, for citation, and for collect the data. Navigating primary and secondary sources in research work. When conducting research, it is crucial to understand the distinction between primary and secondary data sources. So there is these points are described about this both data. So primary source, first and original data collected for the current research and directly address the research problem or can be a question, provides factual real-time data, can be time consuming and resource initiative to collect. So primary data can be important for us, and it is maybe to find out those primary data is time consuming, and secondary data is based on the primary data. According to our primary source, we are finding the secondary source, analyzing interpretations or synthesis or data collected by others related to past studies and information gathered for different purposes, offer context, background information, and diverse perspective of our topic, or can be based on the primary data. Readily available. This data is readily available because it is secondary data and this work is already done by other, and we are using as a secondary data in support of the primary source of any research work. Consideration. So utilizing the both primary and secondary source for comprehensive research. Primary sources ensure relevant focused data collection. Secondary sources provide context support and broader viewpoint. So evaluate sources carefully for validity, biases, and alignment with research objectives. So balance the use of primary and secondary sources appropriately. If we are using more secondary data in any research work, then it is not authentic, we can say, or not ethical according to the research work. But always both the balance of the both primary and secondary data is very important. Secondary source is always in support of the primary sources. Crafting a focused research question for your research work. When conducting research for an academic paper, it is crucial to design a well-defined research question that captures the essence of what you aim to explore. So, research question is the very important point when anybody is working on any kind of a research work. This research question should incorporate specific keywords that can be effectively searched rather than relying on broad or abstract terms. The answer you uncover through your research endeavor is likely to shape your thesis or maintain arguments. So research question is also the keywords, also having the keywords that we are dealing in our for further research work. However, if initial research questions yield an overwhelming amount of material, making it impractical or comprehensively address all the related issues within the scope of a single paper, it is advisable to narrow down research questions. Research questions are not like the paragraph, but it is framed in a very proper proper manner. By refining inquiry, it can maintain a focus and manageable scope, allowing to develop a concise and well-supported thesis or any kind of research work. Establishing a main idea or can hypothesis for any kind of research work. So what is hypothesis? An assumption or a concession made for the sake of argument. So hypothesis is very important. We are making a kind of argument to support our work, and in further any kind of work that we are dealing, it is based on the hypothesis. After digesting the research material, the writer should determine their focus and establish a main idea or can be a or called a hypothesis. In the humanities, the research should help the writer from opinions and arrive at conclusions about the topic. Readers expect to find the writer's ideas in the paper. If writing is an academic genre that requires a thesis, the writer should develop a preliminary one as early as possible and make list of supporting evidence and specific details from their knowledge and reading. So, before concluding, this is the step that I have made for the support those things. First, understanding the research writing process, and after understanding the process, planning and time management, and then identifying and evaluating sources. After understanding the writing process, the identifying and evaluating the sources. What is the important sources for a particular topic, or can we say a title? Starting your research after identifying and finding the evaluate the sources, you have to start your research work, and then developing a focused research question and thesis, outlining your research goals, and then last, effective writing and revisiting and editing. So in a research work, these are the steps that anybody can follow. After the completing those, there is the other work like re-editing and the work cited list, bibliography. But this is the after the all completing all steps, there are the further steps for any research work. In conclusion, this research used a grounded theory approach to uncover the cognitive process, and while each discipline has its own method, a common thread emerged, relying on literature review and determined novel step of the art research topics in the respective fields. So this is the conclusion of my presentation. Now I am open for question answer. This is the references that I have taken in my presentation.
Rajeshwari, what is the primary purpose of a research paper?
Okay. As I have mentioned in the first 3 to 4 slides, after the introduction or in introduction, what is the primary purpose of research? So when we have some problem in our life, we are trying to find out how we can solve this problem. In the same way, when there is the at the intellectual level, if any person wants to know more of something about any topic or anything, or try to gain more knowledge about anything, at that time the research paper are there. They are conducting the research on a particular topic, and they are writing in the form of research paper or published in that manner. And this kind of purpose can be any different in various type of disciplines. The research paper are for the for more knowledge, and also they are able to give the more we can say the more data to the any disciplinary.
So Rajeshwari, as you mentioned in your presentation, so how can you relate your experience during the research for your presentation to the content of your presentation?
So how can I relate my experience during the research for the presentation of this presentation? So first of all, I before 2 to 3 days, there also suggest us to go to the gestor article from the MKBU e-library. So I try to access those articles for this my presentations, and I have find a one book. There is a I forget the name, but this book is the primary source of this my presentation. Later on, I will also share the title. This is the international book for a key for writers, and I have used many of the points, the bullet points. I have get idea from it and taken from it. So try to do that is do the sources that is authentic and reliable for any this presentation. Thank you.
Can I start?
Yes.
And
Share your screen.
hello everyone. Today is the third day of our presentation. On this date, I am present on difference between academic writing and non-academic writing. So, this is my academic information, table of content, and the question which I which I discussed in my presentation. First of all, introduction. According to Patrick, he says about writing. I believe that writing is a habit, and the more you write, the better you become. Writing skills are an important part of communication. It also fosters our ability to explain and refine our ideas to the others and ourselves. Writing is a set of process. It is not an easy task. According to columns, people have been writing for thousands of years. Writing has become more important in recent years, and despite the fact that millions of people are unable to write and read, the majority of communication takes place through writing rather than speaking. Yunus and Harris said that writing is a necessary device in learning, that it can help learners better in different ways, such as comprehending the opinion and concepts. Academic and non-academic writing usually differ in format, purpose, and tone. So, what is academic writing? Academic writing is the process of breaking down ideas and using deductive reasoning, reasoning and formal voice. It is about what researchers thinking and what evidence has contributed to that thinking. Researchers keep the distant from all emotions and feelings, means they remain as impersonal with subject, which lead them to different perspective of subject and find out solution of problem. Academic writing is the process of breaking down ideas and using deductive reasoning and formal voice. Characteristic of academic writing include formal tone, use of the third person rather than a first person perspective, a clear focus on the research problem under investigation, and precise word choice. I asked GPT what is academic writing. He answered, academic writing is a formal style of writing used in scholarly settings characterized by its clear structure, objective tone, reliance on evidence, and adherence to disciplinary conventions. Academic writing is a formal, so you should refrain from using slang or contraction. Also, you should take care to write a complete sentence and organize them in a certain way. As Bartholomew noted, if you collect samples of academic writing within or across disciplines, it has as many types of categories, peaks and valleys as writing group. Importance of academic writing for tone, for evidence-based argument, academic conversation, and improve your language complexity and higher order thinking. Examples of academic writing: research paper and article, essay and bibliography, academic journal, book, dissertation, and thesis or abstract. So what is non-academic writing? Most of non-academic writings do not include references, citation, or a list of sources, nor are they extensively well researched as academic writing. Moreover, non-academic writing often does not have a rigid structure as academic writing. It is often free-flowing and reflects the style and personality of the writer. Non-academic writing refers to any form of writing that is not intended for academic or scholarly purpose. This type of writing is usually more informal and often written for a general audience rather than for experts in a particular field. The language in non-academic writing is informal or casual. Some types of non-academic writing may even contain slang. Newspaper article, memoirs, magazine article, personal or business letter, novel, website, text messages, etc. are some example of non-academic writing. The content of this writing is often a general topic, unlike academic writing, which mainly focus on a specific field. Furthermore, the main aim of a piece of non-academic writing is to inform, entertain, or pursue the readers. Non-academic writing is only for friends and family. It is just like conversation, which never includes serious thought and references. Non-academic writing mostly joined by conjunction. In this writing, writer may include emotions, feelings, and personal experience. And the most important thing that he or she tells a story from her or his perspective to share it with readers. The flow of paragraph must be lost in this writing, and structure of writing cannot be held up till the end. A personal blog, writing, Facebook post, and any personal journal article can be included in the non-academic writing because they are everyday free to share their views and also can express their emotion towards any matter or things publicly without any evidence. What is difference between academic writing and non-academic writing? According to Highland, academic writing is a kind of means to discuss knowledge claims. Academic writing should be the most concentrate social text. It should be considered as a collective social practices rather than concerning linguistic features as the regularities of academic writing. The most goals of academic writing will be persuasive to pursued and evaluation in a review, to accept a knowledge claim in a research paper, and to knowledge schema in a textbook. On other hand, non-academic writing is a kind of individual text in which writers think, feel, or believe something. It does not include literature, personal essay, articles, or writing in popular magazines and newspaper. The separation between academic and non-academic is not a simple or absolute. One will see non-academic style in academic text, and academic features will occur in non-academic text. But it is generally true that academic texts have predictable patterns of grammar, organization, uh, argument and of giving credit to the work of words of others. Academic writing is often based on research, data, evidence, which must be cited and referenced correctly. Non-academic writing may rely on personal experience and anecdotes or opinion. I took image from Pinterest for academic writing versus non-academic writing. Here definition is academic writing is a formal and impersonal style of writing that is intended for scholarly or academic audience. Other side, non-academic writing is informal and often subjective style or writing that aim the mass public. Here or in academic audience is academia, and non-academic writings audience is mass public like family or friend. The purpose of academic writing is informed to readers with solid evidence. Other side, non-academic writing purpose is inform, entertain, or pursue the readers. The style of academic writing is a formal and impersonal. Other side, non-academic writing style is a personal, impressionistic, emotional, or subjective. Other academic writing structure is a standard structure. Other side, non-academic writing structure is not rigid structure. The language of academic writing is a formal language and avoids colloquialism. Other side, non-academic writing language is informal and casual language. Academic writing is using citation and references. Other side, non-academic writing is do not contain citation and references. Academic writing example like research paper, dissertation, scholarly article. Other side, non-academic writings example like newspaper, magazine article, letters and digital media, etc. The rules of academic writing in English are quite complicated. Nevertheless, most students find that they can recognize the difference between informal writing and formal academic writing. Here is conclusion. Academic writing and non-academic writing differ significantly in terms of their purpose, audience, style, and conventions. Academic writing is a formal, objective, and aimed at contributing to scholarly discourse with a specific field. It adheres to strict guidelines, employs precise language, and relies heavily on credibly sourced and evidence. Non-academic writing, on the other hand, is more flexible, subjective, and caters to a general audience. It often employs a more conversational and engaging style.
and its primary purpose is to inform, entertain, and pursued the reader. Well, academic writing prioritize accuracy, objectivity, and others to establish norms. Non-academic writing allows to more creative expression and personal voice. Ultimately, the choice between academic and non-academic writing depends on the intended purpose, audience, and context of the written work. We can find academic writing from Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Coursera, Google Books, and Gestor. Other side, we can find non-academic writing anywhere. Here is my references. Now I am open to question.
So, Riddhi, my question is that how does the use of personal voice and opinion differ between academic and non-academic writing?
Personal voice and opinion are often avoided in academic writing and focus on evidence and authenticity. Other side, the non-academic writing is focus encourage expression of personal voice.
So, Riddhi, in what ways does non-academic writing, such as creative writing or journalistic writing, influence public opinion and cultural discourse?
Non-academic writing is interested for public which who was not a field of academic and who not belongs to academic purpose or he or she wants to entertain and liking subjects.
May I start, sir? Hello everyone, I am Rinkal, and today at the third day of our presentation season, I am about to present upon the topic named research methodology. What 5 methods under the paper named research methodology. Why research methodology? Unveiling the significance of research methodology. My academic details. Here are some questions regarding research methodology. How does the choice of research methodology impact the validity and reliability of research findings? What are the key ethical considerations that researchers need to address when designing and conducting research studies?
how can researchers effectively integrate qualitative and quantitative research methods to provide a more comprehensive understanding of complex phenomena? What are the emerging trends and advances in research methodology, and how do they contribute to the evolution of research practices? And some more questions. That is table of content. What research methodology is, an introduction. Significance of research methodology, then conclusion. What research methodology is, meaning and definition. Middle French research from researcher to go about seeking. From Old French researcher, from read plus searcher, search to search. Like methodology is a body of methods, rules, and postulates let's employed by discipline, a particular procedure or set of procedures, and an analysis of the principles of procedures in inquiry in a particular field. The methodology employed in an experiment is essential to its success, and bad methodology has spoiled thousands of research projects. So, whenever a piece of research is published in a scientific or medical journal, the researchers always carefully describe their methodology. Otherwise, other scientists or other researchers couldn't possibly judge the quality of work, or can't get anything from the done research. In the practical sense of doing research, a matter of techniques, an event occurs or is made to happen by the end of some record, or the event occurs is made. Careful study of the generates factual statements serviceable as evidence for interfaces, generalization, explanation, interpretations, predictions, and search technique is the process of converting events into records and into factual statements, including table charts or other ways relationships according to Gowin. It guides the researchers in deciding what type of data is required for a study and which data collection tools will be most appropriate for the purpose of his her study. It is a methodological question that leads the researchers to ask how the world should be studied. Like previously, Rajeshvariba had addressed what are the tools and why doing research and some kind of context. Here in research methodology, how someone is doing research is what something matters. Significance of methodology in research, guides the research process. It is guiding. Methodology provides a systematic framework for conducting research. It outlines the steps to be taken, the techniques to be used, and overall approaches to be followed. Ensures validity and reliability. RUBS methodology ensures that the research findings are valid and reliable. Validity refers to the accuracy of the research results in measuring what they are intended to measure, while reliability refers to the consistency of the results over time and different context. It minimizes biases. Methodology helps researchers minimize biases in their study and providing strategies in data collection, analysis, and interpretation that reduce the influence of personal opinions, prejudices, or other subjective factors. Allows replications. A clear methodology enables other researchers to replicate the study, verifying its findings and contributing to the cumulative nature of scientific knowledge, which is really required when you are into field of research. It facilitates generalization. By employing appropriate sampling techniques and data analysis methods, research methodology enables researchers to draw generalizable conclusions from their findings, extending the applicability of the results beyond the specific context of study. It enhances ethical considerations. Methodology often includes guidelines for ethical conduct in research, ensuring that studies are conducted in an ethical manner. with due consideration for the rights and welfare of participation. Optimizes research utilization. Effective methodology helps researchers optimizing the use of resources and such as time, money, and personnel by providing clear direction and minimizing unnecessary efforts. Informs decision making. Research findings often inform decision making process in various fields. A sound methodology ensures that these decisions are based on reliable evidence and valid conclusions. In the theoretical sense, reasoning research is a matter of using conceptual systems, construction, models, theories, etc. An event can be studied effectively if the researcher generates a telling question. Such questions require key concepts or generative ideas which lead to guide inquiry. Gaze identified three aspects of research paradigm, like the substantive, the methodological, and logistical paradigm of research. And second category is the methodological, in which he concluded ways of measuring variabilities and collecting and analyzing data. He then prefers to call this category methods of work, because as noted in the foreword of his volume, he reserves the term methodology for study of methods. Knowledge and okay, that one is put by mistake here. Research methods. There are several research methods according to Griffin. Oral history offers several benefits to the discipline of particularly English studies. Interviews with literary authors, as well as recordings of personal experiences of cultural phenomena such as theatre going and other readings. Then visual methodologies. Visual images have been the object of study for a variety of disciplines for as long as those disciplines have existed. They include art, history, humanities most obviously, but also within the social sciences, the subdiscipline of visual anthropology and visual sociology. Discourse analysis, like here in methodology, there will be many discourses to be studied. Like discourse analysis is concerned with investigation of language, both written and oral, as it is actually used. And it is different from textual analysis, according to Griffin. The uses of ethnographic methods in academia, ethnography as a research methodology is typically associated with the social sciences, most usually, although not exclusively, but with the discipline of anthropology. It is chiefly a qualitative research strategy that relies primarily on participant observations and concerns. Itself with the study of interpretation and cultural behavior. Then textual analysis. Textual analysis is in discipline of indispensable to research in cultural criticism, where cultural criticism includes English cultural history and cultural studies, as well as any other discipline that forces text on text or seeks to understand the inscription of culture and its aspects. Then interviewing, there will be some methodology of like Pooja also mentioned, like how taking surveys and interviewing also affects the work of research and how researchers can get data and information regarding the research. Creative writing, of course, then through poetry, fiction or other literary forms, researchers can evoke empathy, provoke thought, and illuminate truth that might otherwise remain hidden. And this approach not only enriches the research process, but this one I have got through ChatGPT. Then creative writing as a research method thus offers the transformative means of generating knowledge, challenging assumptions, and fostering innovation across disciplines. Then digital humanity as a research method. Digital humanities as a research method integrates computational tools and techniques with traditional humanities discipline to analyze, interpret, and communicate cultural artifacts, texts, and phenomena in innovative ways. Even here, what happens, like collaborative works are also done under digital humanity. As one continues to reread, and think about the ideas and information they have decided to use according to Nichols, you will begin to see new connections between items and patterns of organization which suggest themselves. Bring related material together under general headings and arrange these sections so that one logically connects with another. Then order the subjects under each heading so they too proceed logically. Like the logic, the importance of logic here is much more important in while doing research. Here in conclusion, research methodology holds paramount significance in the pursuit of knowledge across all fields and disciplines by providing a structural framework for inquiry. Methodology ensures the validity, reliability, and ethical integrity of research endeavors. It guides researchers in the systematic exploration of complex phenomena, facilitating the generation of new insights and advancement of understanding. Moreover, methodology enables the replication of verification and research findings. So, whenever someone, if I have done some sort of research and in the same field someone wants to go further about some other kind of research based on some research work, they will be what will they do is they will see my methodology, like what sort of methods I have used, and then according to those methods they will see they can also go to some of those conclusions and can evaluate work done by me. And if I want to do some research, I will see the methodologies used by some other researchers in similar manners. Whether employing traditional methods like interviews and surveys or embracing innovative approaches such as digital humanities or creative writing, the careful consideration of methodology is essential for producing rigorous and impactful research outcomes. So while doing the outcome is also something to be keeping in mind, like what sort of outcome will be there from my research. Like scholars can uphold the integrity of their work and contribute meaningfully to the collective body of human knowledge. These are my references. That is it. Thank you. You can ask me questions.
So, Rinkal, what is the importance of selecting an appropriate research design?
So, when the person is selecting some research designs for the work, so there will be a selected method, like methodologies as far as concerned. So you have to first design like what sort of arguments are to be put first, and what sort of questions are to be made, and kind of what sort of research you are doing in which field. All those things are to be taken in consideration, and then you can design the whole draft of your research and can conclude accordingly.
Rinkal, what are some common challenges researchers face when implementing various research methodologies?
Okay. While implementing various research methodologies, like there will be sort of like as I mentioned in my conclusion, like you will have to be there will be outcomes, like outcome will be in negative form also. Like if your outcome is to be if your research outcome is triggering someone or will be questioning some systems or power, you will be about to face problems. And then if there are some limitations of research also, if you are finding some in survey, your personal biases and prejudices shall not be get together while you are researching something. So, and that kind of things. That is it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today, on the third day of the presentation of semester 4 on research methodology, I am going to explore my presentation on fostering ethical research practices to promote academic integrity. These are some of the questions that I am going to address in this presentation, like what is academic integrity, why is it necessary, what are the ethical concerns related to writing and individuals, what is plagiarism and why it is punishable, then the role of the World Wide Web and AI concerns related to artificial intelligence for academic integrity. Let's begin. These are the points. I'll begin with what is academic integrity. Dictionary.com, while giving the meaning of integrity, it says integrity means honesty, virtue, and morality in a simpler term. In the article Academic Integrity, a review of the literature, McFlaney, Pun, and Hang defines that academic integrity is a problematic phrase as it is open to different interpretations. While our focus is in this review of the literature is on the values, behaviors, and conducts of academics in all aspects of their practice, the term academic integrity is widely used as a proxy for the conduct of students, notably in relation to plagiarism and cheating. So, not only the students, it can be considered in all the types of research that has been conducted by the individuals in the academic phenomenon. So they also say that academic integrity is an umbrella term. Students, teachers, all academicians are connected to it, and all the things are looked in that manner. Let's understand the ethical research practices. What are they? So Gulmin and Gillam talks about some ethical research and ethics in practice while thinking about the research practices. They give a concept of reflexivity to critically examining one's role and assumptions as a researcher and can help lead to ethical practices in research. So ethical research practices relates to maintaining honesty in research writing. Moreover, the quality of the research should also get maintained in it. When we are talking about what is academic integrity and how to foster it in research writing, it is essential to note that what should not have been done to do academic integrity, to promote academic integrity. So the plagiarism is a biggest challenge in maintaining academic integrity. What in some simpler term, plagiarism is a threat that challenges academic integrity. Cambridge Dictionary gives a definition of plagiarism as the process or practice of using another person's idea or work and pretending that it is your own. So we cannot take another one's idea as our own while writing research. So it can be applied to creative and critical work. Here we are talking about the critical means research work, so it will be related to that. And even the creative works are often getting intellectually theft by people. Plagiarism, Gibaldi in MLA handbook for researchers, he says that derived from the Latin word plagiarius, that means kidnapper, that has been defined by Merriam-Webster dictionary. To plagiarize means to commit literary theft or intellectual theft, and to present as new and original an idea or product derived from an existing source. So you are picking up an idea of other and you are putting it as it is your own. Here are two pictures that in a broader perspective defines the theft of the thoughts. Well, in the article, Sean Zwangerman, he relates to the idea of plagiarism to the Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. In the Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, it is said to Hester Prynne to wear A, that stands for adulteress, and she had to carry it forward. So here the author writer is taking a similar concept to define this plagiarism. The Scarlet P, plagiarism, panopticism, and the rhetorics of academic integrity. So it also incorporates cheating of students, and it also says that in the article it is incorporated by students cheating, and they are also blaming on teachers about certain ways. P stands for plagiarism. According to him, to brand persons with the Scarlet P is to turn behavior into identity, creating a discrete, immoral subgroup that, as the personification of plagiarism, assures the rest of us that our own behaviors and identities embody honesty and integrity. These identities, the good student and the plagiarist, are further credited by the fact that they embody behaviors that to some extent are themselves a false binary, doing your own work. So it defines that to brand a person for this Scarlet P, it is about the behavior that is turning into identity, creating discrete and other personification of plagiarism and behavioral patterns in the research writing. There are certain forms of plagiarism that has been included in the MLA handbook for writers of research by Gujadiya. He says that plagiarism involves two kinds of wrongs. First one is using another one's ideas, information, and expression without acknowledging that person's work constitutes intellectual theft. Passing off another person's ideas, information, or expressions as your own to get a better grade or gain some other advantage constitute fraud. So it says that you cannot use, it is wrong to use someone else's idea for yours as your own and sharing it to get good grades and all the things. He further describes three other major forms in plagiarism in research writing. First one is repeating or paraphrasing wording, taking a particularly apt phrase, paraphrasing an argument, or presenting a line of thinking. So whenever a researcher tries to incorporate any of the word or any of the phrase, paraphrasement, then the arguments, even the quotes from the textbooks, original textbooks, novel, poems, or each and everything, the researcher has to side with that. So the academic integrity can be maintained through that. There are ethical research concerns in the time of WWW, World Wide Web, Internet, and with the advent of artificial intelligence. So the World Wide Web, Internet has given the knowledge to the mass. There is a massification of the novel, and it is also a concern that students are not every time use technology in the right ways. They use technologies to cut, copy, pasting things. Nowadays, so many things, like lots of sources and informations are available on this online platforms. So it is easy to get copy pasted all the things. Now students are using this chat GPT for the writings of even researcher or vice versa in this research writing. Cotton says that it is interesting to note that when asked how could I improve an essay written by an AI language model to get a higher grade, ChatGPT itself suggested the following: review and revise the text, check for factual accuracy, incorporate your own ideas and analysis, use proper citation style, and proofread. So even nowadays, the working with ChatGPT, it gives somewhat direct. All other AI platforms are also giving some direct responses and all the things. But even that is also indicating some sort of research and research done by the researcher or a student. That's one article. Should artificial intelligence agents be your co-author? Argument in favor informed by ChatGPT in terms of research writing or any sort of things. Rutman and Polanski note several things: that AI's ability to accelerate research processes, precision enhancement, knowledge creation, the criteria for authorship outlined in Vancouver Protocol, contribution to conception, drafting, and approval of work. So there are certain laws also made while using ChatGPT AI models that we'll discuss in the latter part of the presentation as well. So AI can be considered a co-author based on its contribution level, though it is also under the consideration. Ethical consideration implication for research integrity. If it is being done by AI, so it is very much difficult to incorporate human and AI. Need for scholarly discourse and clear guidelines to navigate AI's role in academic pub effectivity. So that should have some guidelines and discourses that can be analyzed, through which it can be analyzed. Now, in the MLA handbook, it is described some of the consequences of plagiarism, like some of the regulation acts, like lose job, embarrassment, career gets affected, penalties, failure in assignments or courses and submission are not getting submitted, loss of learning opportunity. So while going through the consequences of plagiarism, it came under this UGC New Delhi Regulation Act. In this Gazette of India, it was published. It incorporates departmental academic integrity panel, institutional academic integrity panel. It somewhat UGC itself has found or identified some of the rules and regulations against this academic integrity and plagiarism. Accordingly, they give penalties and all the things. So there is allowance of 10% plagiarism in research writing under UGC guidelines for regulations. There are certain levels, like if it is above 10% to 40%, it shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript, and if it is above 40 to 60%, then it shall be the researcher will be asked to withdraw manuscript, denied right to 1 annual increment enhancement, and shall not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new masters, MPhil and PhD student scholars for a period of 2 years. And if it is above 60%, and the penalties will be like withdrawal of manuscript, denial of 2 successive annual increments, and will not be allowed to be supervisor to any master or students for 3 years as a guide. So all the regulation is being considered under UGC. Like while thinking about these consequences and the ethical concerns, one might find that then how to identify the plagiaries, as people might unintentionally making the plagiarism. So there are certain tools, digital tools that can help to avoid plagiarism. These platforms can check the plagiaristic aspect, plagiarism in research. Here in the picture it says, go ahead and use it. No one will know. Don't do it. It's plagiarism. It's stealing. So there are these all the digital tools like that are scrutinizing your research under this plagiarism. So now everyone are seeing this. You cannot say that no one will know. like while experimenting this sites, I go through this plagiarismdetector.net, and I have given my own assignments that I wrote in the last semester. That was about this feminist reading of advertisements, and though it is allowing 100 words as it has the subscription kind of thing. So in a free, it has given me to support 100 words to analyze in terms of plagiarism. So it has founded 9% plagiarism, and along with that, you can see here that 2% plagiarism content is from my own website where I have uploaded my this assignment in terms of blog. So it is also detecting that as well. Each and every information that is available on internet can be traced to all these websites. Here are other sites like SlideShare from where some of the content has found. So it is very useful detect plagiarism detector softwares that helps to manage the academic integrity and avoid plagiaristic contents. Now, there is one article by Prelimin, a ChatGPT detector catches AI generated papers with unprecedented accuracy. It says that tool based on this article I have found from this Nature journal. Though I was unable to access the whole article, I could bring the headline of the research. Tool based on machine learning uses features of writing style to distinguish between human and AI authors. A machine learning tool can easily spot when chemistry papers are written using the chatbot ChatGPT, according to a study published on 6 November in Sale Report Physical Science. There are certain natural language process units, that tools that helps to even integrate or let us know the generated versions of articles as well. And there are certain ethical concerns about that as well. And it is somewhat, it is said, some research says that it will allow the refinement of language, but content, but that all remains under the consideration. Now, after analyzing the plagiarism and the concerns related to academic integrity, now how to promote academic integrity? While referring to all the articles that I have mentioned before, all have a similar concerns, like to teach students, to make people aware of what they are doing, because there are some unintentional plagiarism as well. Arden Miller, Carol's Spotoff, and Jessica notes that increasing emphasis on learning, not grades, as the goal of education, honor codes and activities directed towards a climate of integrity in all forms may show the most promises in reducing academic disintegrity. Cotton and other also says that in their article, educating students about plagiarism requiring draft submission using plagiarism detection tools, setting clear guidelines for the appropriate use of AI language models, and closely monitoring students' work. So, taking the direct copy pasting of the content should get avoided. The content that we are taking from the sources, original sources, the citation is that, as in this picture, it is said that have you cited something like that. So citation is must in text or the other citing text. So that should always have a citation to support the arguments that has been made by the researcher in that term. So here I want to conclude my presentation. So academic integrity is very much important to promote a kind of and foster the honesty and virtue or modesty in terms of research writing. Thank you so much. These are the references.
Trushali, can you explain the significance of obtaining informed consent in research studies?
Research studies, obtaining informed consent. Do you mean these copyrighted things? Yes. So there are certain ways. If you just have opened a book, just take a simple example. If you we are studying any novel or any book. So there on the second or third page, there will be this C in round, and there will be a name. So that means that person, without that person's content, that content cannot be a consent. That person's ideas and the book cannot be reproduced by the person. The same can be applied in research writing. We are also using the books, other research articles while writing our research while doing our research work. So it remains essential. Whenever we are using some of the research article, we are not going to go to the original researcher to ask the permission, because these articles are openly accessible to most of the articles are openly accessible to everyone. If you are checking like this open allies, there should be some number that this article has cited this many times. So what it shows that this article has this content and that is necessary, and researchers are citing that. So that author's integrity and that consent is given there. So whenever you are doing any sort of thing, so citation is needed, and citing that person means getting the consent of the person in that terms, because we are not using the whole work, we are just taking the idea. So in this way it can be looked at.
Trushali, how can academic institutions foster the researchers' commitment to maintaining and promoting academic integrity in their research?
Nice question. Like here, what we are doing, we are doing this dissertation work from the very first semester. We are learning how not to do cheating, how not to cheat, have the ideas of others. So like we are learning from sir, it is the responsibility from both these sides. Students had to learn all the things, and on the other side, it is the responsibility of teachers as well. Because many times, while referring to this article, it is said that students are blaming teachers for like this sort of things. But it is not same at the same time, because it remains on the side of students as well to learn the artifacts related to this academic integrity and this plagiarism kind of thing. So it is very much important to teach students. Even some of the article has mentioned that from the higher schooling or secondary schooling, students have to be taught not to thief like something, not to steal something in terms of intellectual theft. So it remains on the both sides to teach students from the very beginning, and students have to cultivate those ideas and those not committing the theft, intellectual theft throughout their career, and should promote and should hand over the same information to the generation. So thank you so much.
So, Trushali, as you mentioned about it in your presentation, according to you, how can researchers balance the need of innovation and creativity with ethical consideration in their research endeavors?
Balance between this cited sources, taken sources, and their own ideas, right? Right? So, like whenever we are choosing any topic for a research, there shall be something new. That's why we have selected the topic for research. That's a very basic question. But then we don't know that there are certain research done under that topic and in and around that topic. So while doing research, researcher will take ideas from other sources to support their argument. He or she will add their own perspective while getting the supporting arguments from other sources. So while promoting their argument, one cannot say that this is what I have interpreted by myself, because the sources of information and theories have been taken from somewhere or the other, some or the other articles or books or any other research works, creative or critical works. So that way the balance can be seen in terms of this research and innovation. So maintaining both is a very much important. Thank you so much. everyone. I'm Upasana Goswami, and today I'm going to deal with revising, editing, and proofreading. Here is my personal academic information. So, firstly, what is a research methodology? Research methodology is the theoretical and systematical analysis of the methods applied to field of studies. It involves examining the underlying philosophical strategies, designs, methods, and techniques employed in conducting research within a particular disciplinary research methodology aims to provide a comprehensive framework for planning, executing, and evaluating research in a systematic manners. Various aspects, including the research method, research philosophy, research approach, research design, research data collection methods, data analysis techniques, and measure to validity to reliability. These are the types of research methodology. So what is the research writing? Research writing is the process of sharing to answer to your research question along with the evidence on which answer is based, the source you used, and your own reasoning and explanation. First, answering a research question with evidence and sources, organizing and presenting information clearly, learning scholarly conventions like citation and formatting, developing time management and skills, exploring a topic in depth, following the structured process with a step like researching, drafting, and revising, using and evaluating both primary and secondary sources, analysis the evidence critically to support a thesis, properly citing a sources to avoid plagiarism. So now we discussed editing. History of editing. Editing is an English word that is related to copiers from the Latin roots that means planety or evidence in Germany late 15th century was the time printing replaced the script. Editor have been given more in the 16th century than they had ever had or would have again in the history of editing. One editor correct in one way and otherwise some delayed, some interest, some fly, and other damage in its height. So editing part was correct your correct all kind of errors. Correct all kinds of errors in your research writing. The end of the 1513 was the time when work of author were getting published, and those authors had to figure out how to treat writers. Not only writings, the question thought was who controlled a book, the person who wrote in, or the one who made it possible for people to carry it around and read it in that leisure. Definition for editing. The noun version of editing refers to the process of preparing a piece of work to be used for a specific purpose by correcting or improving its high standard. The word the word editing refers to the action of carrying out the above process. These are the four types of editing: structural editing, lines editing, copy editing, and proofreading. How to edit? Revising. So first step is a revising. Before intimating the editing process, Scholars should re-examine the layout of the research paper. Doing so allow the determine the numbers of sections in the documents and the contents of each section. This step is necessary to ensure the scholars get a holistic view of the research paper. Preferable method to review the outline of a document is to draw it separately along with some notes on both each chapter comparison. So first step is editing part is rewinding. So correct all errors in editing parts. Second is choosing an editing approach. The next step in the process is for scholars to decided how they want to edit document, or to be more precise, which tools they want to use for editing purpose. There are primary two methods for editing: computer-based and paper-based. The former method requires scholars to use a credible word process such as the Microsoft Word and OpenOffice to edit their document, and it's currently a preferred method among the academic due to the numerous advantage it offers. Some of these include grammatical suggestion and theory of and antonyms, synonyms, and readily available citation style. In the editing part, so the scholars provide so many apps like Microsoft Word, OpenOffice, and also we are using Google Docs to correct errors, suggestion, grammatical errors, and also we can create a citation in proper manner. Deciding on the starting point. Once a copy of the outline is ready and the editing method is decided, the next step is to determine a starting points for the editing process. Scholars should access which section all of their research paper will require how much time and resource. To do so, they should take into consideration the complexity or length or both of each section. They should create a priority list and schedule the editing process. This step is previously as the enable scholars to deal with the most problematic of their document first, making the edits after the preparation of complete. It is time for scholars to edit the research paper meticulously and thoroughly. When we research any kinds of things, where we are our draft is ready. After this research writing, we must important part in the editing part, because the editing part is improve your works in your research methodology. Under this step, scholars should check their document for the following: grammatical under the editing part. Research students also check this step: grammatical error, context error, tonal inconstitutional, factual contentions, weakness of the argument, appropriating use of words and their synonyms. We are in the editing part. We can check these types of important parts. What is revising? These are some spelling mistakes. Revising was traditionally viewed as a simple tidying up activity to eliminate the surface error like grammar, punctuation, spelling after completing a first draft. This is the outdated three-step stage liner model or writing. In a revising step, firstly, scholar check the grammatical error in their research paper and also check the spelling error. Recent research show that revising is a more complex activity with writers moving back and forth between drafting and revising throughout the composing process, not just at the end. The author's purpose taxonomy to analyze the effect of revising on a meaning. The main distinction is between a surface change that do not affect the core meaning change that add new information or removing existence information. Surface change are further divided into formal changes like spelling, punctuation, format change, pursuing change that modify pursuing without changing a meaning. Meaning change add a new context that cannot be interfered or delete existing context that removing meaning in the revising the you can check the spelling error and also grammatical error when we correct the spelling two types of two spelling are different but the meaning are sometimes the same or sometimes different. So firstly we check revising the spelling error and their meaning. These are the revising changes chart. Strategies for revising. First, confirming purpose and main claiming. The first step in the revising process is to confirm that the draft actually serves the purpose outlined into the introduction. In case the paper hasn't done so, you need to either revising your purpose or revising to the paper so that address this purpose. Second is identify the checking support of our major claim. The main claim of the paper will be supported by some claim. This will need to be support as well. Third is a check against your outline. Beginning the revising process by comparing your first draft to your outline, and asking the following question. These are some questions. Does your draft match your outline? If not, why not? Is your revising to the outline want, or would your original structure be better? Where are the gaps in information in your draft? Where maybe you have to add more information? What information is unnecessary to tragically? So, in strategies for revising, firstly, thirdly, you check your outline. Your outline part is the most important part. Fourth one is checking on paragraph level. With each paragraph, you should be able to easily identify your prominent and accurate topic sentence. Identify the paragraph's role in its section and in the document as whole. Identify originalization strategy or structure that the paragraph use its purpose. These are some revision checklist. Revision checklist. Have I covered the significance of my idea to my readers? Is my purpose is clear? Does my essay meet the requirements of this assignment? Is my focus to board? Have I never my topic? Do I prove clean? Do I prove clear translation between my ideas? Are there any gaps between my points? Are there any points in that need for further explanation or detail? These are when we write our research paper. This checklist is most important. This most important in our research methodology. Thirdly, we discuss proofreading. Definition of proofreading. The dictionary explains of proofreading is while someone proofreads something such as a book on an article, read is the primary or is the publication, so that finding and marking mistakes that need to be corrected. Proofreading involves a carefully reading throughout the writing documents before a publication to find and marks and errors or mistakes that need to be corrected. It goes beyond simply reading, as the proofreading requires deliberate efforts and strategies to normal reading process. In a proofreading, when we write research paper and also our dissertation, our research paper will completed. But firstly, we learn to rechecking our dissertation draft also in research paper. Some kind of mistake are not doing that. So proofreading is that rereading to our research paper. Proofreading difficulties. Defensiveness in proofreading skills are usually due to lack of instruction rather than carelessness, lack of motivation, or even mediocre verbal skill. The other difficulty would be difficulties of text comprehension, text and text familiarities, unfamiliarities. Some other problem with proofreading are stylistic, spelling, and jobs, and passive voice. No, passive voice, sentence structure, common spelling, and run one. However, to the time differing, to the time reframing, some of them are going to be explained. The difference between proofreading and editing. So this firstly we discuss editing. Editing occurs early in the writing process before a proofreading. In the other hand, proofreading is the final stage after editing to catch any remaining errors. In editing part, editing involves analyzing and conceptual to clarify. In other hand, proofreading requires viewing the text at micro level, separating language from a meaning to catch errors. Editor also analyze the voice, language, plot, argument, and maintain consistency in grammar and tone. In other hand, proofreaders focus on catching mechanical errors in spelling, punctuation, capitalization, typo, and style guidance. The goal of editing is from a coherent, effectively express the whole message. And other hand, the proofreading aims to hammer the copy into a polished error-free perfection. In a conclusion, revising, editing, and proofreading are the indisciplinary component of the research writing process. Revising ensures your paper has a clear focus, logical organization throughout the development ideas. Editing polish your writing style, follow and writing style, and finally proofreading catches and correct any remaining mechanical errors. So here is my work now you can.
My question to you is why editing and proofreading are crucial in research and how they enhance the quality of research output.
In a research writing, editing and proofreading are crucial because editing and proofreading part is important in a research writing. And editing part was your research paper is your research paper is a more qualitative and effective to readers. And also proofreading is important is when we read when we check rewrite our research paper, any kind of error are there. So proofreading is an editing is there.
Upasana, as we all are delving right now as well as in research. So what? No, not this. Yes. So as we are delving in the research right now as well. So what are the tools or techniques do you find helpful for proofreading written work for grammar, punctuation, and spelling errors? As we all have done this dissertation as well. So what do you think about this?
What tools and techniques? So when we are when we all are in our research writing. So firstly, in our we all are writing in our Google Docs using a Google Docs. So your Google Docs also help to grammatical error and also check spelling mistakes. And in other hand, some tools like Claude, ChatGPT are very helpful to in our research writing. To our content is more powerful and without grammatical error and spelling mistake. These are some tools and errors.
Okay, so to give the final feedback, I also suggest you to watch today morning what we have discussed, that so you get some examples. By and large, the content wise you all presented well, but as we know that this all content we can easily find from internet and bringing is easy, but we have to add with our experience. What is our experience of any topic that you are working, and that examples you have to bring. You can, like Pooja told, you have done survey. So those kinds of surveys can be done. Some charts can be put here that in this topic, out of the 20 students who are working, what you think, whatever response you get. But that is practically looking at this, because research methodology is all about practical things. Theoretically, whatever people talk, that is fine. But actually what we get is more important. So when Insia talked about different research methods. So how different research methods lead to different outcome? Why, if I change my research method, will I get a different outcome? That can be proven. That example is required to be given, that how or why one method is appropriate for one kind of work. If I want to do a particular research, there was Nirali was talking on qualitative and quantitative research. So why qualitative, why quantitative, for which topic it is necessary? If I am doing a sociological survey of people, and if I just read articles and books, will it be enough? Or should I go out and do field survey and observe the things with my own eyes? So one would say that no, going out in the field, observing is more important rather than just reading and preparing. When it comes to literature, you won't be able to travel everywhere. Like if you study a particular author from Africa, you won't necessarily say that I will go to Africa, then only it is enough. Otherwise, the research is incomplete. Not necessary. It is library work. So in that case, you do library work. People do adaptation studies, films. So people may not know how to make a film, but still they can do study. They have never gone on a set of a film. but still they will do. So there are differences that somewhere it is done, somewhere there is another. So those examples we have to bring to speak of that. On this differences in MLS style also, Mansi talked about that. That also is a good topic, that how citation styles are evolving slowly and steadily with the time. They keep on doing seminars, conferences, and any good idea that come, they incorporate. And so they keep on updating and changing themselves. APA also has lots of variations, and that will always keep on evolving. But some basic things remain common. So that also you can see what is the thing that is remaining common. So everything will come with last name, first name. That is common in all the styles. So alphabetical order, and last name is written first and first name is written last. That remains common. So that common element you can see. It means that is a basic skeleton, and that is perhaps never going to change. If we follow that skeleton, then also by and large our citations will be good enough. So that way we can reach to the minimal requirement for that. Bibliography is also variety of. Payal talked about that. In many ways, people prepare a bibliographic record also. When you work on a dissertation, you also can prepare a good bibliographic record for that particular area in which you are working. So later on, somebody else wants to work on the same area, they get handful of books and resources ready. And if somebody is looking, then they can just come and click on your blog or your website where you will put the things, and they will get the list of books, websites, everything handy. So that way, bibliography is very useful for other researches also. Data collection also, Pooja talked about that. And nowadays, lots of things are happening in data collection. Digital tools are used a lot nowadays. Recently, I had been for 3 days. One workshop was there at Gandhinagar by InflibNet, which is the library network system of India at national level. So how research information management systems and how various tools are used to see that research scholars or publishers, teachers, professors, their all research output can be managed. So data management is a big thing now, and lots of things are being coming up. Lots of tools are also coming at global level, at India level also in this. Research process is also, Rajeshwari talked, the same thing, the examples that particular, what level we get the outcome in what manner can be added into that. Academic and non-academic writing also, we can give many interesting examples also in that. Rinkal also on research methodology. So in cultural studies, we refer to this point that there is difference between method and methodology. Methods and methodology. So how that idea of methodology, it means that you are locating your research into particular domain, and that is where the meaning is emerging. So if I putting it into Marxist narrative or into a kind of nationalist narrative, where am I putting that? That gives a stance, and from that the outcome matters. Today, lots of write-ups are coming up about films, and one of the way of looking is that there are lots of propaganda films. Propaganda. Against that, those who are in favor of propaganda film, they would say that there were agenda-based films, and so there is now we get two classifications when we enter into the debate. There are agenda films, there are propaganda films, and then we ask what is agenda films, what is propaganda films, what are they doing, what are the characteristics. So then we are locating that into methodology. From that you will get the meaning. We see the popular cinema or popular literature into those domains in a more particular manner. So that is what methodology can do also. Trushali also presented ethical concerns and other things also. You have also taken that UGC guidelines that also morning we discussed that. So that also can be referred, that how many percentage are required. So in the last 10 minutes, you see, you will find some things about those things and how drill beat software is used, which can identify AI also now. but it is not very reliable to say that this is perfectly AI content or not. So that all we have discussed in the morning. So I'm not repeating that part. But this we can see. I have shared several things in WhatsApp right now, which can be very important to keep in mind. That how this talk about this is growing, how this discussion on chat using generative AI is happening a lot. So all those links, if you see these articles, and like here, open AI as an writer is allowed. It was accepted as the author. Second author here is OpenAI, San Francisco, USA. The address also is given. And maybe, yeah, this was, yeah, this also listed down a couple of articles. Even this also, ChatGPT is first author in this write-ups. So generative pre-trained transformers as author was also were also used, but then people started saying that this is not fair, and lots of debate happened around those things. And so I think Nature gave this guidelines. Nature, this is the article. This also is a good article on using AI to write scholarly publications. Okay? And it is in open access, so you can view PDF also. I would have given you the PDF which is downloaded, but I want you all to go there so that there are digital footprints on that page also. So this also says that now how people are looking that you can use ChatGPT for several things. This is Elsevier also says use of generative AI and AI assisted technology in writing for journal articles. So they do allow, but now not as co-authors. They very clearly say that not as co-author, but you can use it to improve the language. Where authors use AI and AI-assisted technologies in the writing processes. These technologies should only be used to improve readability and language of the work, and not to replace key authoring tasks. What are those things? Such as producing scientific, pedagogic, and medical insights, drawing scientific conclusions, or providing clinical recommendations. By and large, it is more for science. And so when these outcomes are taken from ChatGPT and an article is written and somebody start believing into that, it can damage the health of the people also. And people may die also. That's why it is concerned. In arts, there is no need to worry. Nobody is going to die if we say this or the another thing. If some interpretations are taken from ChatGPT and we say, nobody is going to die. But in medicine, during Corona time, we have seen that how the news about fake medicines were spreading across, and people were into that. So that's why it is not allowed there. So findings of generative AI cannot be. But if you want to improve the language, readability, then it can. All scientists work in their mother language in most of the countries, and maybe they are not good in English language. So they have to take help of Grammarly or human consultancy. They keep on doing that. And that was allowed. They used to do acknowledgement that they have taken help of some English expert or some software. Now they can take help of this also for readability and other kinds of things. So when you use the things in all these capacities, you have to acknowledge, you have to write in footnotes, in endnotes, that to improve your language, you have used and cite this one, and cite this Elsevier document also. So that if somebody accuses you that this is wrong, then you can say this is the global practice. It might be wrong. Tomorrow people may say it is not fair, like People were saying authors can be allowed, and now you say author cannot be allowed. So for a while, it was allowed to use ChatGPT as author. Now people say no because legal provisions are there. If something goes wrong, and you have to make a case against somebody, you have to imprison people. Then authors can be imprisoned. ChatGPT cannot be imprisoned. So because of that legal provisions, it is we can't make machine accountable as humans can be made accountable. So there is a logic also why it came, why it is removed also, and you should be aware about the entire dynamics also. So it allowed this year, and see how things happen or things are happening nowadays. If you see, this was the post on Twitter, which was also very interesting, wherein somebody has found this paper, uh, and in a very renowned journal, not like any other journal, but in a Scopus severe journal, renowned journal. There it was in the beginning paragraph. No, this was in a concluding paragraph. Let me see. Here you see in this. Save the image a little bit larger. So this was an Elsevier journal. See the first sentence of this article. Share the screen. See here in this published article. You can understand that this is language of ChatGPT. Then somebody has copy pasted, and even the editors might have not been aware because editors might not be using, so they might not know that this is the language of ChatGPT. And in another, it was more clear. Another, this is published article. It got published also. So editors and these are renowned journals where it happened. So I am sorry, I am AI language model. I cannot provide you the information. So by mistake, the copy paste are things. And these are all scientists, science journals. These are which they make this error. And so many people you see in the list as a writer, not one or two, but there is half a dozen people who are contributing in writing a paper. Now, when this debate happened a lot on this Twitter, somebody brought it on Twitter. So Elsevier came and also gave answer. Elsevier has posted this year that in the drafting of papers, as long as it is declared by the authors on submission, author should declare it that they have used it. We are investigating, but we are investigating this paper. But even today, those articles are still there on the website. They are not edited also, still with this kinds of goof-offs which are there. And in this thread, there are many such examples which are given that how published articles in renowned journals have such mistakes or errors also. So, but from here also we will evolve. We will still move ahead from this. So that is again something which is to be followed. We've seen that how technology will be incorporated. You cannot deny the use of technology, but you have to always say that how ethically, in correct manner, how people can be trained. So you are just still MS student. If the scientists are doing this kind of an error, then obviously people needs to be trained at different levels through the use of all these things. If it will not be done, then these kinds of mistakes will keep on multiplying. And if people are not aware that this language is generated by some machines, it will get published also. So we have to orient and train people, use it, and then see that if you use, you acknowledge it properly. The things and what are your outcomes, which are also very important in this write-ups also. Last one on proofreading also was good. So that is a very important part. If a proper proofreading might be done, these examples might not have happened. This is again the lack of proofreading that this happens. So this way, some good examples can be brought. And in bringing such examples, this generative AI will not help a lot. Experience helps a lot. That is where the human experience is more important than generative AI. So we have to grow our experience also by doing reading, observing so many things. We have to grow into experience. Otherwise, our output will be very mechanical only. Okay, so with this, we end our session here.